Owatonna High School football coach Jeff Williams, the Hall of Fame game yesterday, second straight home game for Owatonna with 2 on the road, 2 at home, kind of a back-and-forth schedule the way it works this year. So getting to play in front of the home crowd on a gorgeous night, minus a little bit of rain. A good team, Northfield. Huskies win it, though, 34-23. Certainly some big plays along the way, and it's a nice win against a pretty good team.
It was, and they are a good team. We knew that coming in, that they would be a step up from, what we had seen last week, and that it was going to take a better effort on our part to find a way to win it. And I thought, particularly in the first half, our offensive line, defensive line played very well. They provide some matchup problems for us when you've got a 6'8" wide receiver that also plays quarterback and throws a great ball. Their other quarterback threw a couple of really beautiful balls throughout the course of the night, but I thought our kids stepped up throughout the course of the evening and handled those matchup challenges. They've got that big Antoine kid playing in the offensive and defensive line, 300-pounder, but I think we did a pretty good job of neutralizing his impact on the game. So, it was a good effort all the way around. We were proud of our kids.
Jumped out to a 14-0 lead. There were several big plays in the game, and one of them came on the very first drive in the first minute and a half of the game when Sam Hilly got some openings and dashed to a long touchdown run.
Yeah, we really executed our power game very well in the first quarter, and we were running off tackle very effectively. We were trying to run away from the Antoine kid a little bit, and that proved to be a pretty good move for us. Like I say, he's 310 pounds or whatever, so when we could go away from him and make him try to chase things down from behind, we had a little bit more success. And Hilly continues to really run hard. There were some nice holes for him, but he also makes that last yard or two happen just by putting his shoulder down and fighting hard for that extra distance. So Sam had a really nice night, as did our offensive line.
The defense for Owatonna stopped Northfield when they got into that red zone about midway or early in the second quarter and held them to a field goal.
Yeah, and I thought that was a really big momentum moment for us. We had the 14-0 lead, and then they started to chip away, put a nice drive together, put it down inside of our 5, and we had a couple of big plays down at the goal line. Ben Staska kind of knifed through and made a play right at the line of scrimmage, and then they tried to go outside, and Brandon Moen came off the edge and made another big play over there, and surprised me a little bit that they went for the field goal at that point, but they've got a really nice kicker, a kid that they have a lot of confidence in, and I think they were thinking at that time, hey, we just need to get some points on the board and that sort of thing to get some momentum going, and then all of a sudden they have to kick off to us, and the momentum shifted back in our favor.
Bryce Goodwin's pretty quick.
He's really quick. He's got our best 40 on our team. As a junior coming in, we had seen him obviously as a sophomore, a B squad kid. He's still developing in his total game. We saw him against Faribault in the second half. Had a really nice second half running the ball. He started to take the ball security very seriously. He's been working very hard on that because that was a concern with Bryce coming in to the season. He put the ball on the ground fairly frequently as a sophomore, but we really haven't seen that in the last couple of weeks. So I'm hopeful that he continues to develop, becomes a kid that we can trust putting out there, because with Holcomb dinged up, and really with an uncertain return date, we've got to find ways to get Hilly off the field. I think his effectiveness waned a little bit in the second half because he just frankly didn't come off the field. He played virtually every snap last night, and that just takes a toll on the body. I mean, it's one thing to be a wide receiver and prance around in space for 48 minutes, but when you're carrying the ball 27, 28 times, every one of those ends with a collision, and then you're playing linebacker on the defensive side of the ball. Pretty much every play is going to end with a collision there. It takes its toll over the course of the game, and Goody's a kid that hopefully we can utilize to get Hilly off the field a little bit, and start developing some of this depth.
So if it wasn't enough of a momentum swing, the defense holding Northfield to a field goal, or the kickoff return by Goodwin, I think 95 yards for the touchdown, on the next drive for Northfield, there was the deflection, I believe, by Westfall that was intercepted by Hilly to set you up deep in their territory.
Yeah, that was big as well. And, Westfall did get a paw on the ball, and the ball popped right up into the air, and Hilly did a nice job. You could see the running back in him. Kind of took off over to the far sideline and got down into the corner and took it down to the 10, and we were able to pound it in one more time, and really feeling pretty good about ourselves at that point in time. But even so, 28-3 or 27-3, I guess we missed the extra point. We knew that this was a team that had come back and scored 21 late against Mankato East, and I can tell you, we never really truly felt comfortable like that game was put away until maybe there was about 3 minutes left in it, because we knew that they were capable. They had missed a couple of long shots in the first half where they got behind our secondary and the quarterback simply overthrew it. And then we saw a couple of wide open receivers in the second half where they did connect, and all of a sudden they get a big play and they pull themselves back in. So we knew that they were capable of those types of plays, and never really did feel comfortable, which I guess you're not supposed to. But that was a good football team, and a team that never quits. They're well coached, very disciplined. I spoke with probably 4 or 5 different Northfield kids after the game, and everything was yes sir, no sir, thanks coach. Just really a neat operation that they've got up there, and they're coached the right way, they play the right way, and they don't quit. So it took everything that we had in the second half to hang on to that one.
The Raiders had pulled within 27-16. Along comes the fourth quarter, and Owatonna gets that touchdown with 9:15 to go in the game. On a fourth down play from the the 20-yard line, Emmanuelson hit Kubista in the end zone, and there was a little battle for that football as Kubista and the defender came down with, each having a paw or two on the ball.
Yeah, initially I didn't know who came down with it. I mean, it looked to me like both of them had possession of the ball, but, Kubi kind of got rolled over then, and I think as he came out of the pile, the ball, ended up in his hands. Now, of course, if there is dual possession between the offense and the offense wins. So, even if both of them still had their hands on the ball, it should be ruled a touchdown, and was. That was an interesting situation there with 4th and 9 or 10. We kind of debated, do we throw one up and give Kubista a shot? I mean, the fade route is probably the best route that he runs. It takes the best advantage of his talents. Or do we shut it down? They had the Ernst kid, number 1, covering him, who is one of their better athletes. Do you shut it down right at the sticks and try to get the first down, or do you throw it up into the corner and try to get the touchdown? And we opted to go for the fade route, and Manny threw a pretty good ball. Kubi did have to stop and come back inside just a little bit, but being a 6'2", 6'3" forward on the basketball team, 30-inch, 36-inch vertical jump, he's going to win that battle most of the time, and we're just trying to take advantage of the kids that we had in that situation, and Kubi came up big, as did Emmanuelson and the protection for that matter.
All right. And Owatonna was ahead 34-16. Northfield scored with 5.5 to go to make it 34-23. And, that was the final score, 34-23. The Huskies get the win. Improved to 3-1 on the season. Head to Austin this upcoming week. Austin wasn't real close with Mankato West yesterday, but they were real close with Rochester Mayo recently. What do you know about Austin? How do the Packers stay so close with like a Mayo team and not so much with some others?
Yeah, we've seen 3 videos on them. We'll see a 4th one now today. They had the lead against Rochester John Marshall in the first half, and actually I thought dominated John Marshall in the first half. They are a rapidly improving team and an improving program. They just happen to have their most difficult games in the first 4 weeks, and so they're sitting at 0-4, but I think they're going to prove to be a pretty darn tough 0-4 team. Their kids, I think in high school football, it just takes a little bit of time for teams to start to believe again. Mankato East had a big big lead against Northfield last week and just couldn't hang on. Well, East hasn't had a lot of success in the last decade, nor has Austin. And I think sometimes when you get after a team a little bit early and they haven't had traditional success, they aren't as resilient. They don't hang in there as tough as teams that just expect to win. And I think that's where Austin is at right now. So it'll be really important for us to get off to a really good start, to let them know that, you guys shouldn't be hanging around with us, because if we let a team like that hang around, because they are good and talented and they can make some big plays, they're going to gain confidence at our expense. And so, it's going to take another good effort on our part. We've just got to concentrate on what we need to do to improve, because the tape is going to show that there were some things last night that we didn't do very well.
All right, 34-23, the final score. The Huskies defeat Northfield last night. Owatonna football coach Jeff Williams, I appreciate the time, Jeff, and good luck getting ready for the Packers next week.
Thanks a lot, Roy.
Coach's Show on KRFO Radio.